How I Transformed My Life After My Parents Chose Cash Over Family, an Incredible Journey. Lily stood at the edge of her childhood home, glaring at the scarred layers of neglect that lined the door. Once it had been alive with laughter and warmth, where Saturday night dinners turned into soulful conversations that filled her heart. Now, all she felt was emptiness. Pushing through the front door, the stale air greeted her, reminding her of the unspoken rift between her and her parents. Their constant hustle for money had stifled the connection they once cherished. With each passing day, the walls closed in tighter around her, leaving Lily gasping for love amidst the growing shadows of wealth. The dissonance echoed every time she saw her parents, lost in discussions about investments and projects that had no room for family. Tears streamed down her cheeks one evening as she realized that their once tight-knit bond was unraveling, replaced by spreadsheets and bank statements. She felt like a ghost in her own home, haunting the echoes of laughter that had faded into silence. But in her loneliness, Lily found her mission. She poured herself into the community, volunteering at local charities, helping elderly neighbors with their groceries, and creating warmth where there was cold. With every act of kindness, she felt the connection of a community that still valued love over currency. The hugs from grateful neighbors, the smiles shared during fundraisers, and the laughter exchanged over cups of hot cocoa. That Sunday, she learned of the beloved Maplewood Bakery, its cozy charm and sweet pastries threatened by looming closure. Fear and determination gripped her heart, igniting a fire within. Before we continue, I need to let you know about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, hit that bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can drop a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, let me know in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now, let's continue. Lily rallied her friends and neighbors, inspired to organize a fundraiser at the community center. The night echoed with joy, the air heavy with baked goods and laughter, the community bound together by hope. Lily smiled wider than she had in months, believing this spark of unity could fill the growing void in her heart. But just as light flickered in her life, disaster struck. Her parents, desperate and pressured, faced a financial crisis that crushed her hopeful spirit once more. The looming shadows of estrangement hovered, forcing Lily into a confrontation she dreaded. She stood in the center of the community center, surrounded by friends who had become family, and faced her parents. The tension swelled, their expressions hardened, yet there lingered a hint of anguish. "What do you really value?" she shouted. "Money or family?" The air crackled as the weight of her words hung over them, tension gripping all present. Her heart raced, fear mixing with determination. What would they choose? As everyone held their breath, he stood at a crossroads. Would they muster the courage to bridge the chasm between them? Or would the chase for wealth sever their ties forever? Lily felt that the outcome of this moment could change everything. The echoes of laughter and love fighting against the lure of cash. Amidst the silence, her heart was aflame. The question rang louder than ever, drawing her deeper into a storm of emotions that promised an uncertain yet inevitable conclusion. The silence felt heavy, as if the entire world was holding its breath. Lily glanced from her parents' hardened faces to the crowd of familiar faces around her, friends, neighbors, people who believed in love over profit. She could sense their anticipation, their own hopes tangled with hers. Her mother's eyes flickered with confusion, while her father's jaw tightened, as if a decision was being fought within him. Lily's heart raced. "You can choose us," she said forcefully, "or you can choose the money. But each day you pull away, I feel like I'm losing you forever." "Lily," her mother finally spoke, her voice quivering but firm, "you don't understand the pressure we are under. It's not just about us. It's about what? Lily interrupted, desperation creeping into her voice. About chasing after an ideal that's breaking us apart? The room was still, the air saturated with tension. A murmur passed through the crowd, whispers of support flowing like invisible threads of connection. People were putting down their pastries to listen, hearts thumping in unison with the rhythm of Lily's plea. Suddenly, a voice broke through the rest. Mrs. Thompson, an elderly woman who lived down the street, stepped forward. "Lily's right," she declared, her frail hands trembling but resolute. "Money can't buy the love we've built in this community. We need each other more than we need the funds." Lily looked at Mrs. Thompson and felt warmth spread through her chest. Others echoed their agreement. Soon, the room was filled with voices rallying around her claim, the power of love and community crescendoing into a thunderous applause. Her father looked at his wife, the sweet disconnect of their earlier discussions slipping away. "Do we really want our legacy to be about accumulating wealth?" he asked softly, as if the realization painted another path for them. Lily felt a flicker of hope, a spark igniting in her chest. "We can rebuild," she said, feeling more confident now. "But it has to start with us. We can't rely on money to do what love is meant to do." Her mother finally broke down, tears spelling down her cheeks. "We lost sight of what mattered most," she whispered, voice cracking under the weight of truth. Slowly, her father stepped towards Lily, and in that moment, something in them. Air shifted. They were all hesitant, unsure of how to reconcile the fear of money with the love they'd nearly lost. But here they stood, poised on the edge of something profound. As the realization sank in, Lily felt a rush of love fill the space between them, weaving tighter against the chill of their earlier fight. "Just tell us what to do. We will support you," her father said, vulnerability in his voice. And as he reached out to take her hand, it felt like the first step toward healing. Tears of joy blurred Lily's vision. She welcomed the warmth they shared, not just as a family, but as a united front, a newfound dedication to be close rather than compete against one another. But even as joy swelled in her heart, she knew the real work had just begun. What challenges would they face now that clarity softened their hearts? As she looked around at the gathered friends and family, a fresh wave of purpose washed over her. "Together, we can save the bakery," she declared, fueled by a renewed sense of determination. "But we need to do it as a family." Little did she know, the moments ahead would test their bond in ways she never imagined. Would they be able to balance their renewed connection with the realities of life? As Lily looked into her parents' eyes, another realization struck deep. Every step forward would be harder than the ones before, yet infinitely rewarding. What awaited them beyond the fundraising? The answer was a mystery that both excited and terrified her. The sun hung low in the sky, casting long shadows that danced across the bakery's wooden floors. The hum of conversation and the smell of fresh bread filled the air, a comforting contrast to the weighty atmosphere of the earlier confrontation. Lily's heart surged with hope, but also a gnawing apprehension. They had made a decision, but now the real journey lay ahead, together. She cast a glance at her parents, who were deep in consultation with Mrs. Thompson and a few others from the community. Their brows furrowed in concentration, but this time, instead of walls dividing them, she sensed a bridge forming, something that could pull them across the gap of their past disagreements. "Okay, everyone, let's get to work." Lily's voice cut through the murmurs, ringing with the conviction she felt. Excitement rumbled through the crowd again. She began to outline a plan, her hands animated as she spoke. "First, we need to think about our strengths. The bakery isn't just about selling sweets, it's about the heart of our neighborhood. We can host a community fundraiser." Cheers erupted, energizing her spirit. Yet beneath that surface cheer, uncertainty loomed. Would her parents truly support her? Would they fall back into old habits when the going got tough? It gnawed at her, even as the group began to festivalize their ideas, brainstorming events and drawing out possibilities. Laughter echoed amidst the lofty dreams of bake sales, music nights, and small gatherings. "Why not a bake-off? Everybody loves a little competition," her mother suggested, a tentative smile forming as she spoke. "That's perfect," Lily answered, her pulse quickening. "And we could invite everyone to vote with their donations. The winner could get a featured month on our bakery menu." As the plans took shape, Lily's father grabbed a notepad, jotting down ideas and possible names. "What about a family day?" he added, enthusiasm lighting up his face. "We could have games for kids and activities for everyone. It could really bring in the community." Lily's heart swelled. Her family was coming alive with possibility, and she couldn't help but imagine the bakery bustling with people, love spilling out like the sweet batter they made. They were weaving bonds with every suggestion, every nod of agreement, carving out a future that wasn't just built on profits, but on connections. But doubt still whispered in the corners of her mind. What would happen when it got hard? She shook off the thought, focusing instead on the moment. They were making strides, building hope, and for the first time in a long while, it felt like the bakery could truly be theirs again. As discussions continued, her father suddenly paused, looking troubled. "We have to figure out how to balance this. I don't want our passion to supersede our responsibilities. What if this fundraiser doesn't bring in enough money?" The room went still. Other quiet concerns began to creep back in. Bills, overdue loans, the lingering specter of that cold, hard cash. Lily's heart sank for a moment. Could they really dance with this newfound love and craft a future without the looming fear of financial ruin? With a deep breath, she spoke up. "It's okay to be scared, Dad, but what if we try this together? I believe in us, and I think the community believes in us too." "Yes, we've got each other." Her mother took her father's hand, giving him a fragile smile. "We've got to trust ourselves first. Love is not just a word, it's action, and this is our action." Hope surged within Lily once again, but just as quickly, a dark cloud of apprehension rolled in. What if they failed? The effort would be steep, the struggle real. Yet here they were, ready to embrace this challenge as one, even if the climb was daunting. "Remember," Lily said, urgency coursing through her words, "we'll figure it out as we go, together. And what we're building, our bond, our community, that's worth any struggle." In that instant, something shifted. The fear transformed into a fragile strength. They were embarking on something monumental. As they prepared to dive deep into their plans, a sense of resolve surged. This family could face whatever lay ahead. But amidst the rising excitement, an unexpected notification on Lily's phone buzzed loudly, shattering the moment. She glanced down, heart racing. A message arrived from an unfamiliar number. What could it mean? Lily blinked at her phone, the joyful buzz of excitement in the air fading into a distant hum. The unexpected message stared back at her. An inkling of unease prickled at her spine. She quickly glanced at her parents, who were still lost in enthusiastic chatter about the upcoming events. No one seemed to notice the sudden heaviness in her chest. Swallowing hard, she pulled her attention back to the screen. The message simply read, "I know about your plans with the bakery. We need to talk." Her heart skipped a beat. Who was this? What did they know? "Lily? Hey, Lily, are you with us?" Mrs. Thompson waved her hand in front of Lily's face, pulling her back to the buzzing atmosphere of the bakery. "Yeah, I'm here." She forced a smile, tucking her phone deep into her pocket. But her mind raced. Had someone found out about their financial struggles? Did someone want to sabotage their plans? She couldn't let fear take control right now. She joined the conversation, tossing around ideas and laughing at some of the silly suggestions coming from her parents and their friends. But every laugh felt hollow, knowing that the message loomed over her like a storm cloud. Once the meeting wrapped up and people began to scatter into the warmth of the evening, Lily excused herself. She needed air. Outside, the sky was a deep velvet, speckled with stars, yet it felt stifling. A few steps out onto the sidewalk drew her into solitude, where the soft rustle of leaves was the only sound. She pulled out her phone, heart pounding, fingers hovering over the screen. Should she reply? Before she could decide, a small voice called from the end of the street. "Lily?" It was Ben, a kid she used to babysit. His face was illuminated by the glow of a street lamp, his expression oddly serious. "Hey, Ben, what are you doing out here?" "I was looking for you." He shifted his weight nervously. "I heard you were planning a big event at the bakery. Is it true?" Breath hitching in her throat, she nodded cautiously. "Yeah, we're trying to do something good for the community." "Cool, but—" He hesitated, glancing around, as if afraid someone would overhear. "Just be careful. I overheard some grown-ups saying that people might not want you to succeed. They said your family is in trouble." Lily felt a chill course through her. "What do you mean?" I can't say much. Just be careful." He stepped back, urgency coloring his voice. "Not everyone wants you guys to win. You should watch your back." A shiver crawled up her arms as she watched him back away, disappearing into the curling shadows. What did he mean? Who were these people? Was it jealousy or something deeper? Lily's thoughts tangled more tightly. The community was supposed to unite, to support, but what if there were hidden agendas? Taking a deep breath, she stepped back inside the bakery, where she could hear her parents still wrapping up their talk with Mrs. Thompson. That message had shaken her, and Ben's warning unsettled her more. "Lily?" Her mother's eyes brightened as she entered. "Do you have more ideas? We could use your creativity." "Yeah, sure, I've got some," she said, forcing a smile to mask her turmoil. But her heart wasn't in it, not when a shadow loomed over their future. As they planned and brainstormed, an inner voice urged her to unveil the truth. Could she really share the growing darkness with her parents when they seemed so hopeful? A sudden thought struck like thunder. What if the very thing they were trying to build was under threat? With her heart racing against the fabric of this family's dream, she realized she needed to confront the unknown. Even as the warmth of the bakery wrapped around her, she felt cold anticipation lurking just beneath the surface. What was it that someone knew? What if everything changed, just when they thought they had found their footing? She took another deep breath. The night was just beginning, and shadows danced all around, both inside and outside the bakery walls. But who was waiting in the dark, watching, ready to unveil the next twist of this journey? Lily's heart raced as she tried to refocus on the plans for the bakery. Ideas floated around the room, bouncing from her parents to Mrs. Thompson, but they all blurred together in her mind. The cheerful hum of their voices only deepened the weight pressing against her. She could feel a storm brewing within her, gnawing at her thoughts like a relentless tide. "Lily, what do you think?" Her dad's voice pulled her back, a warm smile on his face. Yeah," she stammered, forcing a smile. "I think we should have a cupcake tasting event. Everyone loves cupcakes, right?" It sounded half-hearted, even to her own ears. "Great idea," her mother chimed, excitement flickering in her eyes. But the moment felt marred by doubts she couldn't articulate. Just minutes earlier, she was standing outside listening to Ben's warnings, a weight of uncertainty building like a dam about to burst. As her parents began discussing logistics, Lily's mind drifted. What if Ben was right? What if someone didn't want them to succeed? She bit her lip, the thought twisting like a knife. If there were people out there hoping for their downfall, what could they do? Suddenly, she felt a pang of betrayal. The community they aimed to serve was the same one that could turn against them. She wanted to ignore the fear, to pretend it was nothing more than a childish story, but the anxiety coiled tightly in her chest, telling her otherwise. "Lily, you look a little pale," Mrs. Thompson said, concern creeping into her voice. "Just tired," she replied quickly, forcing cheer into her tone. "It's been a long day." "Long days mean success," her dad chimed in, his optimism radiating through the room. Lily offered a quick nod, but it felt shallow. As much as she wanted this bakery to thrive, a new and unsettling reality loomed overhead. Everything they were building felt fragile, teetering on the edge of something unknown. As the discussion moved to decorations and marketing, Lily's phone buzzed in her pocket. Hesitant fingers pulled it out, revealing another message from the same unknown number. "We really need to talk. It's urgent." She felt heat rise to her cheeks. The urgency in the words took her breath away. Who was this person, and what did they know? What more could they share that could dismantle the dreams she and her family were trying to construct? "Lily?" Her mom's voice broke through her thoughts again. "What are you thinking about?" Caught off guard, she stared at her family's eager faces. For a second, she wanted to scream, to tell them everything, the message, Ben's warning, but she couldn't bear to shatter their hopes. "I was just thinking we should have some fun flavor pairings, too." The words came out too quickly, desperate to redirect their focus. Her parents nodded enthusiastically, but she felt like a fraud hiding behind a mask. After a while, the brainstorming session drew to a close, and her parents headed into the back to grab more supplies. Alone, Lily leaned against the counter, absorbing the silence that followed. The bakery felt alive, pulsing with ambition, but she felt like an outsider looking in. Racing thoughts consumed her. She needed information. Who was out there watching? Who would dare threaten their newfound happiness? Making a decision in that moment, Lily resolved to confront this looming shadow. She could no longer stand in the dark, waiting for an answer. She had to shine a light on it. With renewed determination, she glanced at the door, ready to take the first step. The night was still young, and she could feel time slipping away. As she took her first step outside, a sudden figure emerged from the shadows, freezing her in place. Eyes wide, heart pounding, she recognized the familiar shape. "Lily, wait!" Her breath hitched. It was the last person she expected to see after everything, the one who could either be her ally or another thread of complication woven into the fabric of her troubles. "Why are you here?" she asked, feeling the storm of questions boiling inside her. "Because I know something," they said, voice trembling. Could this be the answer she was looking for, or yet another twist in the tale that left her dangling on the edge of despair? "Lily, it's important," the figure continued, stepping closer, a hint of urgency lacing their words. The street light overhead flickered, casting shadows that danced around them, mirroring the turmoil in her heart. "Who are you?" she demanded, the storm of emotions raging inside her. Anger mixed with curiosity as she tried to piece together what was happening. "Why should I trust you?" "It's me, Alex," they said, and recognition washed over her. Alex, her childhood friend, had vanished into a whirlwind of bitterness and misunderstandings after a fallout over a silly argument. "I never meant to scare you. I came because I found something out, something you need to know." Lily crossed her arms, defensive, trying to shield herself from the words she didn't even know she needed to hear. "What is it? Just spill it." "There's a rumor going around," Alex said, their voice dropping to a whisper, "about your bakery. There are people who don't want you to succeed. They think it's too risky to have another bakery in town, especially the one your family is starting." Her heart sank. "But that can't be true. We're a part of this community. We want to bring something special, something new." She felt a desperate need to defend her dreams. Alex nodded, concern etched on their face. "I know, but some people feel threatened. They believe it's going to take away from the other businesses that have been there longer." Her heart sank. "But that can't be true. We're a part of this community. We want to bring something special, something new." She felt a desperate need to defend her dreams. Alex nodded, concern etched on their face. "I know, but some people feel threatened. They believe it's going to take away from the other businesses that have been there longer." Lily felt the weight of their words settle heavily on her shoulders. It was one thing to worry about competition. It was another to think that someone could actively seek to derail her family's hopes. "Did you hear this from Ben? He warned me." No, not Ben, Alex interjected, looking around as if someone might be listening. I overheard it from a group of people in town. They were talking about ways to sabotage new ventures like yours, thinking it would protect what they already have. Her breath hitched. The piece of information felt like a dagger, sharp and piercing, revealing a reality she desperately wanted to deny. What do you mean by sabotage? She swallowed hard, the words souring in her mouth. It's not just talk, Alex replied, stepping closer, urgency spilling out of them. They might try to spread rumors, create noise during your events, or worse, they want to make you look bad. Lily turned away, dread washing over her. How could this be happening? Her dream of sharing delicious treats and creating a cozy community space was becoming a battlefield. Why are you telling me this now? Because I want to help, Alex said, vulnerability flickering in their expression. We may have had our differences, but I believe in what you're doing. I want to support you, even if we have to deal with the naysayers together. Hope flickered in her chest, battling against the shadows. You really think we can fight back against this? I do, but first we need to gather more information. We need to understand who's behind this. Alex's eyes gleamed with determination. We can't wait around for something terrible to happen. We need to go on the offensive. Taking a deep breath, she felt the icy grip of fear replaced by a burning rush of empowerment. Okay, let's do it. As they turned to leave, the distant sound of laughter echoed from the bakery. It felt like a world away, yet so close. She wanted to believe the laughter would drown out the noise of impending doom, but uncertainty gnawed at her mind. Wait, Alex, she hesitated, her gut twisting. What if we fail? What if trying to confront this just makes things worse? Alex stopped, a gentle yet firm grasp on her shoulder. Then at least you'll know we fought for what we care about. Either way, you won't be doing it alone. With a surge of adrenaline and fear mingled, they walked away from the bakery together, determination clashing with doubt. Who could they trust? What other obstacles lay ahead? But one thing was certain. Lily was ready to step into the unknown, even if it meant facing the storm head-on. Let's find out who's really behind this, she declared, her heart pounding with resolve. The glow of streetlights illuminated their path as they moved into the night, the weight of their mission heavy in the air. As they ventured deeper, a flicker of darkness moved behind them, unnoticed. Muffled laughter and an echoing threat lingered, unseen but ever present. What awaited them in the shadows would change everything they thought they understood about their community and each other. The moon hung low in the sky, creating a silver path that glimmered against the pavement as Lily and Alex walked briskly away from the bakery. The laughter that had once felt like a warm embrace now seemed tainted, distant. Lily's heart raced with each step, uncertainty and determination intertwined in her chest. "Do you really think they'll try to do something?" she asked, her voice a whisper, laced with fear. "I wouldn't be surprised. People can be protective of what they think they own," Alex replied, glancing over their shoulder. "But if we expose them, we can disrupt their plans before they even take shape." The intensity of Alex's conviction gave her a bit of comfort. But still, doubt clouded her mind. What if I'm just not cut out for this? What if they're right, and I'm just wasting my time? You are more than just a bakery. You're doing this for your family, for your dreams. You deserve this chance, Alex said, their words sharp with resolve. As they reached a small park where the trees swayed gently, Lily's thoughts drifted to her family. Her mother's laughter as she pored over recipes, her father's reassuring smile when they had faced hard times together. "I can't let them down," she murmured, biting her lip to hold back the surge of emotion. "But facing them sounds daunting. Then let's figure out how to handle it. We'll need a plan," Alex said, their eyes lighting up with excitement. "We should start by talking to Ben. He's got connections, and if he's heard anything, we need his perspective. We can gather allies." "Ben's a bit of a skeptic, though," she replied, crossing her arms. "He might not be willing to put his neck out for me. Or maybe he'll surprise you. Sometimes people come through when you least expect it," Alex countered, a hint of hope in their tone. In that moment, Lily felt a flicker of courage ignite within her. Okay, let's go see him. The two of them turned toward Ben's place, their pace quickening, buoyed by the shared mission and the determination to stand up for her dreams. Arriving outside Ben's door, Lily hesitated, anxiety bubbling up. What if he doesn't believe me? Alex nudged her shoulder gently. You won't know unless you try. Besides, even if he doesn't believe everything right away, talking to him might give us some clues about who we're dealing with. With a deep breath, she knocked on the door. The sound echoed in the stillness, and a moment later, Ben answered with his usual warmth. Lily, hey, what brings you here? Ben, can we come in? There's something really important we need to talk about, Lily said, stepping inside, Alex right behind her. As they settled onto his couch, the air was thick with anticipation. Lily hated that she now felt like an intruder in a space filled with memories of laughter and shared moments. I heard a rumor, she started, her voice wavering, about my bakery, that people in town want to sabotage us. Ben frowned, his expression becoming serious. Sabotage? You sure about that? I am. Alex heard it directly. We need to find out who's behind this and stop them before they do something. Ben leaned forward, concern modeling his features. If this is true, then we need to act fast. I can help, but I have questions. Who do you think is behind it? Lily opened her mouth, but then the weight of uncertainty crashed over her once more. The shadows of doubt crept back in, gnawing at her resolve. I don't know, but what if it's someone we know? What if it's someone we trust? A long, heavy silence followed her words. It felt as if the world around them had paused, waiting. Just when she thought they'd all stepped into a pit of fear too deep to climb out of, Ben spoke up. Then we will dig deeper. We will find the truth together and expose it. The thrill of solidarity electrified the air, but it was chased away by an ominous chill, the specter of betrayal lurking just out of sight. Just as Lily was about to share more, a crash echoed from the kitchen, startling them all. What was that? Alex breathed, their eyes going wide with concern. Lily's heart raced as they exchanged glances, fear clawing at them. I don't know, but it doesn't feel like a coincidence. The door to the bakery may have closed, but another door had opened to a path filled with hidden dangers. What they would uncover next might be more shocking than anything they'd imagined. The tension hung thick in the room, as if the air itself held its breath. A second crash echoed from the kitchen, the unmistakable sound of something fragile shattering against the tiled floor. Lily shot up from the couch, adrenaline coursing through her veins. We should check it out. What if someone is trying to scare us? Alex nodded, their eyes wide and alert. Ben remained seated, his brow furrowed, but then he too rose, a firmness settling upon his features. Let's go, he urged, leading the charge into the unknown. As they moved into the kitchen, the once familiar space felt foreign and filled with uncertainty. The moonlight poured through the window, casting eerie shadows that danced across the walls. A broken plate lay on the ground, ceramic shards twinkling like scattered stars. But it wasn't just the mess that made Lily's heart race. It was the feeling that they were not alone. Who would do this? Lily whispered, as she swept the room with her gaze. The countertops were clear, except for a solitary flour canister, noticeably out of place. It's like someone was just here. What if they were trying to send a message? Alex suggested, their voice trembling. We've got to think about who would benefit from your bakery being thrown off its game. Lily's breath caught in her throat. As her mind raced, it settled on the faces of those in the community, competitors, friends, and even those who'd smiled warmly while harboring secrets. I never thought I'd have to worry about sabotage in my own town. Ben knelt beside the shards of the plate to examine them more closely. This isn't just vandalism. It seems personal, he commented. Like they want to intimidate you, Lily. Have you had any issues with someone specific? Not that I can think of. She rubbed her hands together, feeling the chill that had begun creeping into her bones. But maybe I've been too focused on the bakery and not enough on the people around me. Alex stepped closer, a reassuring presence. We need to investigate, talk to people, find out what's brewing beneath the surface. Lily nodded, encouraged by their resolve. You're right, But we must be careful. If we tell the wrong person, her voice trailed off as fear gripped her once more. The stakes felt higher than ever. Ben stood up slowly, determination coloring his features. I have a few ideas. We can start by visiting some of your competitors under the guise of networking. See if they slip up. They might have already heard something. As they formulated their plan, another thought struck Lily. Buried under the fear and tension, a flash of clarity began to emerge. What if whoever is behind this isn't just trying to ruin my bakery? Maybe it's bigger. What if they want to crush hopes and dreams to keep themselves at the top? Beneath her fear, something fierce ignited in her gut. And then, as if the universe wanted to test her renewed focus, a loud crash outside snapped their attention. A shadow darted past the window, fast and silent, soaked in the moon's eerie glow. "What was that?" Alex whispered, fear painted across their face. "There's someone out there," Ben answered, his voice steady as he moved toward the door. "Wait," Lily yelled, halting him. "We can't just rush out there. We need a plan." Her heart raced, but with it came haste. Outside, the dark held secrets that threatened to swallow them whole. Decisions had to be made rapidly. But how would they confront a potential enemy lurking in the night? As Ben placed a hand on the doorknob, Lily's voice suddenly rang with urgency. "We have to stick together. Whatever's out there, we face it as a team. No one can isolate us, not now." They huddled close, eyes wide with anticipation, every heartbeat echoing like a drum. Bold, defiant, they would not let fear take the reins. But what awaited them in the dark? As the door creaked open, the sense of impending danger loomed heavily, and Lily couldn't shake the feeling that they were on the brink of something monumental, something that could change everything, for better or worse. With pounding hearts and uncertain futures, they stepped into the night. What awaited them on the other side might shake the ground beneath their feet. The cold night air hit them like a slap, but it did little to settle the whirlwind of anxiety swirling inside Lily. She exchanged a glance with Ben and Alex. The determination in their eyes mirrored her own. As they stepped fully into the darkness, the dust from the kitchen still clung faintly to their shoes, a reminder of the chaos lurking inside. They moved cautiously, tuning in to every sound around them, the rustle of leaves, the distant bark of a dog, the soft thump of their hearts in sync. Just ahead, the shadow slipped behind a tree, its form cloaked in the night. "We have to be smart," Ben whispered, his voice barely louder than a breath. "We don't know what we're dealing with." "What if it's someone we know?" Alex asked, their voice threaded with concern. "Someone who wants to hurt you, Lily?" The chilling thought made Lily's stomach tighten. "Or maybe someone who simply wants to scare me out of competition," she countered, trying to snuff out the creeping panic. The bakery was her dream, her heart. It represented more than just flour and sugar. It was hope, a testament to everything she had fought to build. A twig snapped underfoot, causing all three to freeze. Fear rippled through the group, drawing them closer together. "Stay calm," Ben urged, stepping slightly forward. "We need to draw them out. If they're here for a reason, we can confront them." Before Lily could object, Ben shouted, "If you're out there, come out. We're not afraid. We know you're trying to throw us off." Silence enveloped them, thick and heavy. Just when Lily thought the darkness would consume them, a low laugh echoed from the far side of the yard. The voice was chillingly familiar, causing her breath to hitch. "Look at you, playing the brave heroes," came the taunt. "Who are you?" Lily called, fighting to keep her voice steady as her heart thundered. In the shadows, a figure stepped forward, illuminated in the dim glow of the moonlight. "Didn't think I'd let you get away with your little bakery without some hurdles, did you?" It was Mark, a rival bakery owner whose turbulent history with Lily was pinned to the bitter rivalry they'd endured. The sight of him sent a surge of anger lacing through her veins. "You think this is a game?" she asked, her voice rising. "You think tearing me down will somehow lift you up?" "That's exactly what I think," he shot back, his grin showing a twisted sense of victory. "You've taken everything from me, my customers, my reputation. It's my turn to watch you crumble." As he spoke, Lily felt a mix of rage and sadness. The fear and adrenaline gave way to a steely resolve. She couldn't let him dictate the narrative of her story. "I won't let you ruin what I've built," she said incredulously. "You underestimate my commitment and the support of my friends." "It's too late for that," he sneered, a glimmer of menace in his eyes. "I've already started." "Started what?" Alex shot back fiercely, stepping forward beside Lily. Mark's shoulders squared. "You'll see. I've got plans, and they don't include any of you coming out on top. But here's a little push to get you started." For a moment, the three friends hung on his every word, dread pooling at the base of Lily's stomach. Did he really have something that could ruin her? The weight of his threat bore down on her as he tinkered on the edge of the shadows. Fear sank in again, but behind that fear was fierce determination burning brightly. They were a team, and together they could face anything. "Let's take him down," Ben whispered, squeezing Lily's shoulder as he stepped closer. "We'll find out everything, together." "Together," Lily echoed, summoning every ounce of strength within her. In that moment, resolve filled her heart, shaking off the grip of fear. It wasn't just about her anymore. It was about community, unity, and the will to stand firm against danger. But Mark's laughter echoed back, his shadow retreating. "Good luck, Lily. I'll see you soon," he called as he vanished into the night. Lily felt the adrenaline surge within her, but she couldn't ignore the swirling thoughts and fears. What would he do next? What danger loomed ahead? With the night thick around them and uncertainty looming ahead, she glanced at her friends, their eyes mirroring her own fears and determination. Standing together, they turned back toward the path leading to her bakery. They had their work cut out for them. But as they began to walk away, a lingering question haunted Lily's mind. Had they truly seen the last of him? Would they uncover the depths of his plans in time? Or was something far worse looming just out of sight? The morning sun streamed through the bakery windows, illuminating the remnants of late-night brainstorming sessions. Lily stood by the counter, her heart throbbing steadily as she rolled out dough. Today wasn't just another day. It was the day they would rise together, not just to save the bakery, but to reclaim their hope. Ben and Alex arrived, determination evident in their eyes, carrying boxes filled with supplies and laughter like ingredients that would sweeten every turn. "Ready for the day?" asked, tossing a wink her way. "Ready as we'll ever be," Lily replied, holding tight to the optimistic spark blossoming in her chest. Together, they transformed the bakery into a bustling hub. The aroma of freshly baked goods filled the air, intermingling with the sound of laughter, friends and community members pouring in to help. Alex handled decorations, while Ben circulated among their neighbors, spreading the word about the upcoming cupcake tasting event. Lily basked in the joy around her, relishing the lightness of these moments, realizing that this was what family felt like. Yet there was still a weight in her heart, a lingering concern about Mark's threats. Just as Lily finished icing a cupcake, the bell above the door jingled, and in walked her parents, hesitantly smiling as if they were reunited with an old friend. "We wanted to help," her mother said softly, glancing around at the lavender-painted walls filled with laughter. "We've been so busy, we forgot the most important thing." Lily's heart fluttered. Their reconciliation had begun. "You're right here now. Let's work together," she replied, tears blurring her vision with pure happiness. The day rolled on, laughter and camaraderie spilling out into the street as the event took shape. Crowds gathered, testifying that the community had indeed rallied around them. Children ran with frosting-smeared faces, parents chatted over steaming mugs of coffee. The aroma of freshly baked treats hung in the air, thick with promises of hope and resilience. But just as the sun began to dip low in the sky, the unease swept back in. Lily timidly glanced over the crowd toward the bakery entrance, scanning for any traces of Mark. Her heart sank as anxiety bubbled beneath the surface. What if he chose today to strike? "Hey," Alex said, placing a hand on her shoulder. "Whatever happens, we're in this together. No one can take this away from us." I know, she breathed, pushing back the tremors of doubt. But I can't shake the feeling that he's lurking somewhere. Suddenly, a loud crash echoed from the back alley, making their heads snap toward the sound. What was that? Ben gasped, eyes wide with worry. I don't want to find out, Lily breathed, but we need to. Against every instinct, they steeled themselves and sprinted toward the source of the noise, heartbeats pounding in unison. The air felt electric as they navigated through the excited chatter of patrons, glimpses of sunlight illuminating the chaos unfolding just outside. The sight that greeted them sent chills down their spines. A mob of competitors had gathered, led by none other than Mark, who stood in front of a dumpster filled with their precious baking supplies. "This is a warning," he shouted, a cruel grin plastered across his face. "You don't belong here. We won't let you ruin our community." "Mark!" Lily shouted, her heart seizing for a moment. "This isn't just about you or me. You're tearing apart what we're trying to build." "Spare me the lecture, sweetheart. You had your chance, and now it's over," he sneered, casting a glance at the crowd of bewildered spectators. "Enough!" Ben's voice cut through the noise like a knife, standing taller, fierce determination glowing in his eyes. "You don't own this town, and you can't define us. If you think we'll back down, you have another thing coming. Love and community can beat your fear and greed." With that declaration, Lily felt a fire spark in her heart. Their community rallied, voices rising in support of love over hatred, compassion over conquest. The people who had gathered around were her friends, her neighbors, her family, all united for one cause. "Together we stand, Mark," Lily shouted, joining Ben at the forefront. "You can fight us with fear, but we'll only fight back with love." And in that moment, the community erupted, their collective voice pouring strength into Lily's heart. The once quiet town transformed into an orchestra of hope, drowning out Mark's malicious intentions. Standing amidst her friends, family, and support, Lily felt the weight of worry lift. Together, they were stronger, like a delicious warm loaf rising in the oven, full of potential and warmth. "We'll build our legacy on love, connection, and sweetness, together," she declared. In that instant, the echoes of competition faded away, drowned in the strength of their unity. As the sun set, painting the horizon with warm colors, laughter mingled with the smell of fresh pastries. Mark, pushed back by the sheer force of their collective spirit, turned to leave, but not before Lily caught his eye. "We won't be defeated," she said firmly. "Let it go," he muttered, as he disappeared into the shadows. Lily turned back to her family, her heart swelling with love, gratitude, and purpose. They were going to save the bakery. No matter what came next, together they would make it stronger, not just for themselves, but for every heart that hungered for community and warmth. With arms linked, they stepped back into the bakery, ready to face whatever awaited them. Together. And with that, they fully embraced the magic of a new dawn, full of promise, transformation, and the beautiful truth they had fought to reclaim. This is your moment too. You need to subscribe now to our channel to follow along on the next incredible journey. Leave a like now to fuel the positive vibes and help spread this story. Comment with your thoughts on this transformation. It matters to us. And don't wait not even one more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to see this powerful change. Let's inspire each other together.